All right, welcome to Talking Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about HIVE Blockchain, stock ticker HIVE. They are a Bitcoin mining company. They put out their monthly operational report for the month of October this morning, so I want to go through that. There's been some big changes over at HIVE, so I want to look at how they're reacting to that. So we're going to do a deep dive on HIVE. I'll go as quick as I can. If you're new to the channel, we talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel, so remember to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it really helps the channel out a lot, so I appreciate that. Lastly, if you want to be a member of the channel, you can hit the join button on the YouTube page. And if you don't see a join button, there should be a link below. Members get some member-only content, and once a week we do a members-only live stream. So I look forward to seeing you there. But in the meantime, let's talk about HIVE Blockchain. We're early in the trading day today on Monday, November 7th. HIVE is down about 3% on the day. I don't necessarily think that's a reaction to their operations report. I think that's just indicative of what's happening to the Bitcoin miners today. So they're trading at $2.76. So there is something significant about this. HIVE today has taken out their lows from this summer. Okay, so if I quickly look at HIVE's June 30th, 2022 financial statements, those are the most recent financial statements issued. So you're gonna see that their equity is $259,968. If we go back and look at their stock, their market cap is now below their equity. And the main reason for that is there was a transition from Ethereum from proof of work to proof of stake. However, they have been setting up for this change all along. So they have been spending the year 2022 selling their Ethereum for the most part and putting down deposits on Bitcoin mining ASIC machines. So they will see some growth over the next several months. HIVE was one of only two companies that was able to make a deal with Intel on their new ASIC chips. So I don't want to downplay the fact that they have lost a lot of potential revenue on a monthly basis based on the fact that Ethereum has moved to proof of stake from proof of work. Having said that, I do think all their GPUs have already paid for themselves, and they did make a lot of money mining Ethereum in the meantime. So what does the new company look like? This is essentially a new version of HIVE. Let's go to the press release and see exactly what's going on here. Okay, so this came out November 7th, which is today. HIVE Blockchain October 2022 Bitcoin production was 307 Bitcoin mined and 3,311 Bitcoin total on its balance sheet. So that 307 is Bitcoin equivalents. We're going to dive deeper in and look at the actual Bitcoin they mined versus what their GPUs did with altcoins. Okay, summary overview. So I'm going to let management speak for themselves. HIVE has a strong balance sheet with approximately $70 million of Bitcoin and no expensive borrowing against equipment like ASICs or GPU chips or digital assets. So if we take a quick look at their balance sheet, you'll see that as of June 30th, they had $90 million in current assets and about $29 million in current liabilities. So that was a strong ratio, but even more so than that, they only have $59 million in all liabilities, short-term, long-term, added up, put together. So they have much more current assets than they do total liabilities. That is a big strength for this company because obviously with the price of Bitcoin being down, and we are now in an extended bear market, it could end tomorrow for all I know, it could go on for another year. But the thing is, liquidity is key and low debt is key. So this is why I'm going to go to a list that I made and did a video on a few weeks ago. This was my top 5 companies most likely to survive a crypto winter. So you're going to see I have HIVE ranked number 4 overall, despite the fact that they're losing all this revenue from Ethereum moving away from proof of work. The strength of their balance sheet and the liquidity position that they find themselves in makes them highly likely to survive a crypto winter, in my opinion. So again, this is not financial advice. This is my top 5 list. I have a lot of top 5 lists, but to me, one of the things about HIVE is the strength of their balance sheet is keeping them in a very safe position. And I think you're going to see that in their stock performance. Despite the fact that they just took out their summer lows, they're still performing better than the vast majority of Bitcoin mining stocks. Okay, next, HIVE owns all of its ASIC and GPUs with clear title. There are no debt servicing payments associated with any of our digital assets or crypto mining hardware. Really what they're talking about is some of these other companies have put up their Bitcoin as security on debt, some of it on lines of credit. Specifically, Marathon has put up a majority of the Bitcoin that they hold on their balance sheet is held in reserve, securing their line of credit. So HIVE is not in that position. They're saying Their Bitcoin on their balance sheet is totally unencumbered, no loans against it. Okay, Hive produced 307 Bitcoin in the month of October from ASIC and GPU mining operations, representing an average of 115 Bitcoin per exahash. So this is that Bitcoin efficiency number that we look at on this channel all the time. I compare all the Bitcoin miners on a monthly basis as to how efficient they were. Now, I will tell you, the last 2 months in a row, in September and October, there have been huge increases in the difficulty level of mining Bitcoin. So these numbers are coming down. A lot of companies were up in the 130 Bitcoin per exahash or even 140 Bitcoin per exahash. So that is not the case for October. Due to those two massive increases in the difficulty level, somewhere around 110 or 115 looks like it's going to be really just about the top on this list. So at 115 Bitcoin per exahash, I think we're going to see that Hive is still among, if not the most efficient miner, they are among the top efficient miners in the industry. So that actually answers one of the questions that I had, because I was not sure if all of their Ethereum mining was helping that number and inflating it, but even without the Ethereum, they are still maintaining this very high level of efficiency. Okay, Hive expects to receive over 1 exahash of the Hive Intel Bitcoin ASIC miners, projected growth in the next 3 to 4 months with scheduled deliveries. So they're looking to grow their Bitcoin mining 1 exahash, essentially, they're saying in the next 3 to 4 months, and that's going to be the beginning of these Intel chips. So we're going to have to watch closely and see how that works. That's one of the things I will be looking at with Hive Blockchain. Are they going to get these custom-made machines with the Intel chips inside? Are they going to get them on a timely basis? And when they do, are they going to be able to maintain their efficiency level? Is this potentially even going to help their efficiency level? So I want to see how these Intel chips work out for them. Okay, October production. Hive is pleased to announce that October production figures and mining capacity. 262 Bitcoin mined produced from ASIC mining operations. So I want to compare that to the last 2 months. Okay, so in September, you can see they did 268.9 Bitcoin. And now this month they did 262. So their total production did go down a little bit, but it went down, less than 1%, and the difficulty level went up 13% at the beginning of October. So I think those are decent results. Okay, 2.238 exahash of Bitcoin mining capacity at the end of October, with an average of 2.28 exahash of Bitcoin mining capacity during the month of October from ASIC mining operations. An additional 45 Bitcoin were mined with our GPUs in October. So I just want to take a quick look at what a dramatic impact Ethereum moving over to proof of stake had. With the same amount of GPUs, they mined 45 Bitcoin equivalent. I'm going to go back to August, which was the last full month of Ethereum being proof of work. So if you look back in August, the Ethereum that Hive produced during the month of August, equated on a daily basis, is approximately equal to a monthly total of 228 Bitcoin. So the GPUs, when they were able to mine Ethereum, they were mining about 228 Bitcoin equivalent per month. Hive is now sitting in a world where their GPUs have to mine altcoins, and that has reduced that down to 45 Bitcoin per month. So that is a big decrease in their operational efficiency. That's a big decrease in their revenue from their GPUs. So we're going to see how that plays out over time. We're not sure whether they're ever going to be able to make the type of money they were making mining Ethereum. So that's another thing to pay attention to. What are they going to do with their GPUs? Do some of these altcoins gain more adoption and start to earn more money? Okay, just quickly from Frank Holmes, their executive chairman. We are very happy to be producing over 300 Bitcoin per month, which is about 1% of the global network. Even with network difficulty is at its all-time high. We have sold all our Ethereum holdings. In October, we produced an average of 9.9 Bitcoin per day. Mr. Holmes further said, I'm very pleased with Hive's growth of Bitcoin ASIC hash rate over the last year without taking on the risk of expensive equipment financing. So that's one of the things that I'm talking about. That's why they're in my top 5 most likely to survive. They did not finance all of this equipment purchasing. And so as a result, they have very little debt in this company. So that is a key to survival. So there's 2 different pieces we're looking at. In this deep bear market, we're looking at, can companies survive? And then when we start to move out of the bear market, can these companies thrive? So those are 2 different questions. Right now, Hive is very well situated to survive a bear market. Okay, he goes on to say, most of the mining industry is plagued with loans and debt where either their Bitcoin balance sheet is encumbered or their ASIC hardware they have purchased has expensive debt associated with it. The leverage of assets during the bull market is causing great stress on our peers in the mining industry as asset values have corrected to bear market conditions. Hive has maintained a strong position and pursued a steady rate of growth as our Bitcoin mining footprint expands without expensive high-risk debt and without encumbering or collateralizing any of our Bitcoin assets. So to me, that is their biggest strength. So my biggest takeaway on Hive is, yes, they're having a readjustment here. They're mining less Bitcoin per month, and I'm going to go to that chart right now. So this is Bitcoin per month for Hive for the entire year of 2022. So you're going to see they actually peaked in August at 519. Now, I should say these are Bitcoin equivalents because we saw over 200 of these in August were Ethereum that they mined, counting in their Bitcoin equivalent. So August was the last full month of Ethereum. September was a half a month of mining Ethereum, so there was a drop off there. October is the first pure month. Only 45 of these 307 Bitcoin are Bitcoin equivalent in altcoins. That is the lowest number they've had in the year 2022. However, they're going to need to reset their adjustments, and all the investors, I think, have already reset their expectations to the fact that this is where they're starting, and they are now going to start directly growing their Bitcoin mining exahash. In other words, their ASIC mining machines. So you see, this is a chart of how each of the Bitcoin miners has performed over essentially the last 4 months. You're going to see Hive is right here in the middle. Prior to today, they were up 1% off of their lows from this summer. So over the last 4 months, they were up 1%. They're down on the day today. So like I said, today they are setting a new low. They're still performing well ahead of the vast majority of these Bitcoin miners. So I want to take a look at the charts and see where we go from here. Okay, so on the 1 week chart, you can see that Hive is down from their November highs, November of 2021, which was when Bitcoin hit its all-time high. It's when most of the Bitcoin miners hit their all-time highs. Hive is down over 90% right now from that. That is not unusual. That's about average for the Bitcoin miners. In fact, if you take all the Bitcoin miners together, they're actually down worse than that in total. So Hive is in the top half of Bitcoin mining performers since their highs in November. Having said that, they are down 90%, which is a drastic move to the downside. If I zoom in and take a look at the 1 day time chart, you're going to see Hive bottomed out in the middle of June. A couple of things happened there. Bitcoin flash crashed within a couple of days of that, down to 17,500. That is the main reason that they hit their all-time low. So in addition to that, they had just done a reverse stock split that the market did not like at all. So their stock tumbled a lot in the months of May and June. But you're going to see this low held up all the way until today. We're crossing this line today. So if I just zoom in, you'll see this is today's daily candle. You'll see we have clearly now crossed this line. Hive is now at a lower low than it was this summer. Having said that, and it's my opinion that all the bad news is already built into Hive. I don't see any upcoming crisis with Hive. I do see them having to press the reset button and working their way back up now from 300 Bitcoin per month. So for Hive, the main thing that I'm going to be looking at is I'm going to be looking for when they release their financial statements, what was their cost per Bitcoin? That is the absolute number one thing I think that's going to impact the price of this stock over the next quarter. So I'll be waiting to see that. I think they're probably leveled out for now, but you know, obviously they've now taken out their previous low, so we don't know what the downside is. The upside on all of these Bitcoin mining stocks, if and when Bitcoin ever gets out of this bear market, you can see this stock is down 90% from its 52-week high. So if you're optimistic in the long term on Bitcoin, then you're probably optimistic in the long term on Hive. This is not financial advice. You guys got to do your own risk-reward analysis and decide whether or not you want to own Hive as a stock in your portfolio. So that's what I got for Hive. That's my update for Hive for October and a little look at what's to come going forward. So if you made it this far, please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.